In this video, I'm going to show you how I went from $0 to $30,000 a month on YouTube. Obviously not on this channel. I've made that money with a lot of other channels. Nowadays, I do kind of focus on this channel as my main channel, as my main source of income, because I am a YouTube coach now. I coach other people on how to get to 10 to 30K a month on YouTube instead of just relying on my other channels itself to get me to 30K a month. Now I teach others how to do that, and that's kind of how I make my money. But I'm going to share with you my journey, the strategies that I used to go from 0 to 30K a month on YouTube with my other YouTube channels that I did that with. And just because I already know what you're going to be asking, who is this guy to tell me how to grow on YouTube? Who is this guy that went from 0 to 30K a month on YouTube in just 60 days? Well, I do help a lot of people who have large followings on YouTube on how to grow, how to get unstuck in their certain situations. A lot of them I can't talk about, but I have worked with people like Justin Waller, if you've ever heard of him. And then I have a lot of case studies on my YouTube channel. I have a lot of testimonials on my YouTube channel. I helped Coach go from 0 to 33,000 subscribers in just 6 weeks. I helped Casey go from, stuck around 100 to 200 subscribers. She was stuck for years. I helped her get from that point to getting monetized in just 1 month. Same thing with Matt, who was stuck around 100, 200 subscribers. I helped him get to 3,000 subscribers, but with a very, very dedicated live streaming audience, which if you don't know, having a dedicated live streaming audience is probably one of the hardest things to do on the YouTube platform. People that show up to every live stream that he does, donate money, those types of things. It's very difficult to get that, and Matt now has that after going through my program. And I also help business owners, online coaches, whatever the case is, set up YouTube so that it can actually sell for them and generate leads for them. Like Sonny, I helped him go from 30K a month to 70K a month in just 1 month after starting his YouTube channel, as well as so many other people. Now that you understand what I actually do and why I'm actually qualified, well, actually, let me tell you what I've done for myself before I even get into how I did it. So I had a YouTube channel. It's actually not online right now. It's banned because I got bot reported by some other YouTubers, larger YouTubers that have millions of subs. They bot reported me and got my channel banned, and I'm trying to get it back. But at this point, I don't really care much about it. This is my main focus now, coaching. It's a lot more rewarding. It's honestly, you can make more money with it. And I just enjoy it a lot more. So that channel, it went from, it got to around 70,000 subscribers, and I did that in about 2 months. It was around 10K subs. I had taken a year off, and I'll get into all that in 1 second. I had taken a year off, came back, gained like 60,000 subscribers in just a couple of months, and I was making 30K a month, getting about 7 million views every single month. And then once that channel got banned, I ended up making a new channel just to prove to everybody that I could do it. Before I went the coaching route, I wanted to have a channel, a case study that was my own, that I could show everybody, look what I could do. So I was super determined. I started a brand new channel, got that channel from 0 to 10,000 subscribers in just 2 weeks. And that's all long form views, by the way, no short steroids or anything like that. No cheating like that. No bought subscribers, obviously. You can go check out the views on that channel. It's called Justin Reloaded. I had one video get 2.2 million views. I was trying so hard on that channel because I wanted to prove to everybody how fast I could grow a channel. And I did that. Now I don't even post on that channel anymore because it was simply just a case study channel. Now I do coaching full time, and I've helped a ton of people. I've helped dozens and dozens of people do the same, go full time on YouTube, make 30K a month on YouTube. I've helped a ton of people do all of these things. And I started off as somebody who, I don't know if you would call me a loser yet, because I'm still kind of young. I'm still 24 years old, but I was definitely on the path to being a loser. And here's how I kind of got from 0 to 30K a month on YouTube, kind of the full journey. And then I'll get into a little bit of the strategies that I used in order to get there. So I started off, I talked about this before. I was a very, very lazy kid. I did the least amount of work possible all the time. And now looking back on it, I think a lot of it had to do with like the anxiety that I suffered from, because I definitely had and still struggle with it sometimes, like some bad anxiety issues. And for some reason, like the way that I thought I could get over my anxiety, and it helped me for whatever reason, was to just do the bare minimum in every situation. So like I would go to school and I would have like anxiety about something at school. And the way that I would get over my anxiety is I would be like, oh, I can just skip this class, or oh, I don't have to study for this test. I'll just take the F on it, and things like that. For some reason, it would help me. Like it would help me cope with my anxiety for whatever reason. And I did the same thing with like baseball, with everything, with work as I got older. And I ended up being like one of the best baseball players in my area. And for some reason, I just didn't ever want to work out. I was in bad environments, and I don't like making excuses like that. It's all on me, obviously, at the end of the day. But I ended up, wasting all my potential as a baseball player. Did really bad in school. High school was like super easy. You can just cheat and get like a 3.5 GPA. But I failed out of college multiple times after my parents paid for me to go to college multiple times. I actually went away to college and my parents paid for me to stay in an apartment, and I was going to play baseball at this school. Ended up not playing baseball, ended up failing out, and, you know, wasted the money that they paid for me to go to school, wasted the money for the apartment. I was just on my way to be a loser, man. I came back home, got a little job at a local country club. Ended up getting fired from that job because I got caught watching a movie on the job, and it was The Matrix. I know a lot of you ask every time, what movie was it? Was it worth it? It wasn't worth it. I had already seen The Matrix. I don't even know why I was watching The Matrix in that moment, but just felt like it. You know, I just felt like watching The Matrix, and ended up getting caught and getting fired. Also failed out of a local community college around that time as well. Like I said, bro, just on my way to being a complete loser. My dad at around that time handed me a job in the IT field. Ended up doing really bad at that job, but stayed there for a couple of years because my dad was high up in the company. Kind of just, I don't know how I stuck around, but I just did. And, you know, it was around the time that COVID hit, and I was just, you know, somehow just staying in the job, but eventually it got so bad. And I was also focusing on YouTube around that time, and my YouTube channel had kind of taken off a little bit, or started to a little bit, gain some traction. And that's something that I've always wanted to do since I was like 12 years old, was to be a YouTuber. So I started slacking off on the job even more because I was so focused on YouTube, and got to the point where they told my dad, like, you know, Justin's doing really bad. He either has to quit or we're going to have to fire him. So if he doesn't want to, you know, be fired and have that on his record, then he should probably just quit. So I ended up quitting that job. And like I said, my YouTube channel was making like $1,000 to $2,000 around that time. Went all in on YouTube for a complete year, but, you know, I didn't really make more than $1,000 or $2,000, you know, around that time. And I realized that that's not enough to live off of. So I had to go get another job. And this job really, really woke me up, because I had kind of gotten soft in that year where I was doing YouTube full time, you know, trying my best to make it work, and it just wasn't working. I was living at home, not having to pay bills, not really having to, you know, make money. Like, it's not like I was going to go hungry if I didn't make money. I was fine. And I kind of gotten soft. And going to that new job really was a huge wake-up call for me that I have to make something happen. Like, I absolutely have to make something happen. There's no question about it. There's no way around it. Like, I can't stay here. I can't do this. I can't work like these other people, because I was walking around that warehouse that I was working in, and it was a fire extinguisher technician job. So I was doing, like, I was repairing fire extinguishers. I was inspecting other companies' fire extinguishers, BS like that. And the warehouse that we worked out of, there was just zombies walking around, and these people would talk to me. I could tell they've given up on life and stuff like that. And yeah, it was just not the place for me, but it was a huge wake-up call. Ended up getting blessed, and I just thank God for this every day. I got blessed and got a job offer from a remote, another IT job, and it was remote, which was great for me. It allowed me to work on YouTube and work at the same time, because at that fire extinguisher technician job, I just, not to bore you with the details, but I work out a lot. I back then I was running 8 miles a day, and in 2 different runs of 4. So, and I was also lifting weights 7 days a week, doing all those things and working a job that I absolutely hated. It was draining, you know, energy wise, but also time wise. I had no time to work on anything that wasn't work or working out. I had no time to start a business, a YouTube channel, anything like that. All that was out of the question. So getting that remote IT job was such a blessing for me. I actually took a break from YouTube after I got that remote IT job, because I really wanted to excel at it. You know, I really wanted to make sure that I wouldn't get fired or nothing like that would happen. So I took a break, and I took a whole year off of YouTube until I have a lot of friends who have a lot of, you know, larger followings on YouTube, and they kind of dragged me back into the YouTube world. And this time when I came back onto YouTube, I was like, all right, guys, I'll come back, but I'm not making anything that I don't want to make, anything that I'm not going to have fun with. And I immediately started to go viral when I came back. This time I was a lot more open to new strategies instead of the same old strategies that I was doing in the past. I was open to new strategies. I tried a few different things, and they just worked. Like, I knew I had figured something out, because every video that I was posting was going viral. And at first I was like, this is cool, but it's not going to last. You know, it's not going to last. This has happened before, but then it lasted. You know, it kept happening over and over. I was going more and more viral. I was getting millions and millions of views. I ended up getting 7 million views a month for a stretch of a few months there before I got banned. And I just knew I had figured something out. And around that time, I also started helping a lot of my friends out. You know, a lot of friends who were lower in subscriber count than me. I had always just gotten joy out of seeing my friends win more than me win. Like, that's just always something that I've enjoyed. So I think that's why coaching others on how to grow on YouTube has fit me so well, and why I've gotten such good results for people. And back then I was doing it for absolutely free. Like, a coaching business hadn't even crossed my mind, but I knew that I had figured something out with this new strategy that I was running. So I started helping my friends implement that same strategy. All of their channels started to take off. So I was like, okay, I have something here. I ended up doing that, full time for a while, making around 30K a month for a good bit of time. And then the channel ended up getting banned. And the rest of the story, where I started a brand new channel. And now I'm an online coach that teaches other people how to grow on YouTube and make their own $10,000 a month, $30,000 a month, whatever it is that they're willing to work for, whatever their goal is. I help them hit those goals. And I've always wanted to be a YouTuber, for sure. That's always something I've wanted to do since I was like 10 years old. So it was kind of really hard for me to walk away from that, because the new channel that I started could have easily made $20,000, $30,000 a month. Like, I could have easily done that, but I knew that, God, and I'm not going to get super religious in this video, but I knew that God had a different plan for me. A couple of months or maybe a couple of weeks before my channel ended up getting banned, I actually sat down, had a conversation with myself and told God, I know that I haven't done what you wanted me to do my entire life. I know this isn't the path necessarily that you have led me down. I've kind of gone my own way. So I said, I'm open to whatever direction you want to lead me in. I will follow it, and I will try to do my best to excel within that path that you put me on. And a couple of weeks later, my channel got banned. And a lot of people would have been absolutely devastated if their $30,000 a month income would have gotten just taken away for no reason, no fault of their own at all. It was not my fault. I couldn't have done anything about it. And a lot of people would have been devastated. But I knew that it was God, putting me down the path that I was supposed to be on. And if I would have started another channel and just done the same exact thing, I would have been defying God again. So I refused to do that, because even though I always wanted to do that since I was 10, I had told God, I promised God that whatever path you lay in front of me, I would do my best to excel on that path. And it was very obvious, just based on the people that was put into my life, that were placed into my life, that I was supposed to go down the coaching path and help other people do the same thing that I was doing. And it was hard, for sure. It's still hard to not go back and start posting on that other channel, just because I loved it. I enjoyed it so much. And it truly was a dream of mine to do that, what I was doing. I was literally living my dream, and it was awesome. But now I'm starting to understand why God put me down on this path, on this coaching path, because it's so rewarding, man. When you wake up and instead of checking the YouTube studio to see if my video did well yesterday, I checked the Discord channel to see the client wins. And I see people posting in there, 1 out of 10 video, I had this video go viral, or I made this sale because of this YouTube video that I posted. And that stuff is such a bigger dopamine hit to me than seeing a 1 out of 10 on my own YouTube studio. And it's such a more rewarding feeling. So I'm very, very grateful that God, even though it was tough for me in the moment, obviously, it was sad, man. That was my baby. That channel was my baby. And it was something that I worked on for so long. And then I finally achieved what it was that I was trying to achieve, making 30K a month, doing what I wanted to do my whole life. To get it taken away from me, it was tough, but I now understand the vision. I'm now starting to understand what God has planned for me. And it's truly a great feeling. But let's get into some of the strategies that I was running to whenever I came back that second time and my video started to go viral over and over and over again, what I was actually doing in that time period. And I'm not going to go super deep in this video because the video would be really, really long, but I have a lot of other videos on my channel that break down these strategies that I was running, super in depth. But it's obviously very hard, and it's honestly impossible to give you personalized advice, to give everybody who's watching this video personalized advice in this video. So if you do want personalized advice and get these strategies implemented directly into your channel and start making 10, 30K a month on your channel, you can go ahead and book a call with the link in the description, the Calendly link, and we can discuss you seeing if you're a good fit for the program, or you can shoot me a DM on Instagram. Both of those links will be in the description. We can talk about if you're a good fit, and if you are, we'll get you onboarded into the program and get you making 10, 30K a month in no time. But strategy number 1, and like I said, it will be a kind of a high level overview of these strategies. If you want a really, really heavy breakdown, I have a couple of other videos on the channel. The pinned video on my channel is one where I go super in depth on all of these if you want to try and do it yourself. Like I said, it took me years to get this stuff right. If I would have known about coaching and mentorships, I would be way farther ahead than I am right now. Every penny that I make nowadays is either going back into my business or going into mentors and coaching, because I understand the value in it now. When I started this coaching business, I had no idea how to run a coaching business at all. What was the first thing that I did? God placed a mentor into my life and just told me over and over and over again, like I was getting signs from God, like, invest in this mentorship. It's going to be the best thing that you ever did. And it 100% was. I've met so many people in the community of that mentorship. And now I've created that for myself. Now we have a community of killers, of really great YouTubers and really great people that push each other and push me, you know, even though I've already achieved what it is I'm trying to get them to achieve and making that 10K a month or 30K a month, whatever their goals are. I've already achieved that. But there's other things in life that they help me. I'm going to Tampa in a couple weeks here. And I have a client out in Tampa, and he's going to take me to like running trails and stuff like that. He's going to take me through workouts because he was in the military and stuff. Shout out to Dan. I'm going to meet up with some clients out there. I'm going to go to a retreat. We're going to bring a few of my clients, and I'm going to meet up with a couple clients out there whenever I go. And it's just things like that, like having a community like that where I can just go to a city and have people there who are wanting to, one, get good at YouTube and make a living off of YouTube, but two, just have a community of people who are trying to better their lives overall. And I can go there and they will just take me in with open arms and try to, and you know, be on that mission with me, be on that journey with me. And it's just so dope to have those types of people around. So investing money into coaches, into mentors, and into communities is the number one cheat code, the only cheat code, the only shortcut in life. It's going to help you get so much further, so much faster. It's like the analogy that I made in other videos in the past. You can either try to sprint the 40-yard dash, or you can invest in coaches and mentors, and you can get in the Lambo and just blow past everybody who's trying to sprint. Or you can get in the jet and just, you know, fly past everybody who's trying to sprint. It's just such a cheat code to life. The number one strategy that I was running whenever I came back was always trying to improve my niche. For the longest time when I was posting on YouTube, I thought I was stuck in whatever niche that it was that I was in. And it was at a point where I would post one video, it would do well, and I would understand the point that, you know, that should be my new niche. Like I should start posting around that video, at least for the time being. And that's what I do to this day. And that's what I teach everybody else to do as well. But I was so stuck in my ways and so scared of my channel dying that I was I was kind of killing it, indirectly killing the channel, because I would post for months when that video popped off in that same topic area. Even when the video started dying off, I was terrified to leave that little circle that I had created for myself with those videos, to the point where it was killing my channel. Nowadays, I know that a niche can be fluid. It can be ever evolving. You can have a video pop off, and yeah, you should stick with that video for a while, but eventually when it starts to die out, you can pivot to adjacent niches. You know, it's in the overall same niche, but it's like a little bit, you know, I always use the analogy. Let's say there's one big circle and that's your niche, but then you have a video pop off in a small area of that circle. Now you want to stay within that smaller circle, but when that circle starts to die out and not get you as many views, you should go into a different area of that larger circle, if that makes sense. And like I said, I have larger breakdowns and better breakdowns on my channel of those strategies. Having an ever evolving niche and understand when to evolve, when you should move the fluid from one smaller circle to another smaller circle, when you should pivot to a new video. That's something that whenever new clients join my program, whenever I teach them personalized what they should be doing, I'll tell them directly, like, do this and it will work and it'll blow their minds. The best thing is, though, like when people join, I don't just tell them what to do. I teach them why and like how to do it, so that whenever they leave the program, they can go replicate it on other channels if they want to. Like once you're making enough money on one channel, you can outsource editing, thumbnail creation, all of these things, and then go make another channel to get, if you're making 10K a month on one channel, go make another channel with the same strategies. Now you're making 20K a month. And it's like, it's so good because once they leave the program, once they're done with me, they can go replicate these things because they understand the strategies and why they should do certain things, not just that they should do it. Because that was one of the biggest things that was holding me up, was I was studying people like Mr. Beast and other larger YouTubers and seeing what they did and wondering why that's not working for me whenever I did it in my niche on my channel. And it's because certain niches have certain trends that work within that niche and they don't work, you know, universally across YouTube. What works for Mr. Beast, even though he's the best and biggest YouTuber on the platform, it's probably not going to work for you. And that was like the number one thing that I changed whenever I came back, was I wasn't shy about pivoting. As long as it stayed within the general circle of my niche, I wasn't shy about pivoting from, you know, niche to niche, from topic to topic. And that helped me a ton. Just continue to stay on top of things, stay on top of trends and stuff like that, and continue to go viral over and over and over again. And then the second thing that I did, you know, I've gone into this in so many other videos and deep dives, and I'm not going to go super deep, but was master the 5 T's of YouTube. So 5 T's of YouTube are topics, titles, thumbnails, timing, and tenacity. I've always had the tenacity piece. I've always been willing to do what other people aren't willing to do on the YouTube platform. That's a thing that's huge. So tenacity is basically just like the mindset behind it. So something that I did going into my niche was I was like, okay, nobody else is posting daily, 7 days a week. Everybody's either taking weekends off or just posting a few times a week. I'm going to post 7 days a week and not take a day off. And that was tough, man. It was tough posting 7 days a week when I first started, getting no views for like a year. Because I was scripting my videos, editing them, like recording every single line multiple times to make sure I got the inflections right in my voice, stuff like that, making all the thumbnails. And it was a lot of time. It was time consuming for sure, but nobody else was doing it. So I continued to, carry that over. And whenever I pivoted niches and got that thing right, I was posting multiple times a day, 7 days a week. Nobody else is willing to do that. Nobody else within that niche was willing to do that. You don't have to do that. That was for my niche specifically. But you have to find what are those things that nobody else is willing to do within your niche. That's the tenacity piece. You have to be willing to lock in and say, I'm willing to do what these people aren't. And that's why I'm going to beat them. And that's how you get ahead of a lot of people within your niche, mindset wise. And then there's the topics. And we kind of talked about that a little bit already. But the topics, you need to be really good at topic selection. You can study other people within your niche, but the topics should be always fluid. Do not get too locked in on one topic. But whenever a topic does pop off for you, what you need to do is you need to hammer down, make part 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever the case is. Keep updating people on that topic over time and just, really hammer down into that. But you have to be able to let it go whenever it is time to let it go. And it's hard to personalize the advice for everyone. Like I said, if you do want personalized advice, you'd have to book a call. But when it's time to let it go, you do just have to let it go. And it's time to pivot. You can't have that scarcity mindset that I used to have where once this topic dies for me, my channel is dead. Like, no, you're better than that. You can go find other topics. There's tons of topics out there that you can go viral with. Just go find the next one. Titles is another T that is very, very important. Obviously, probably all of you know that, but a lot of people try and they study people like Mr. Beast, larger YouTubers that they've looked up to their entire life. And they think, oh, I should make my titles like them. But no, really, you should go study the top dogs within whatever niche that you are in. Study why their titles work, why their thumbnails work. And that's like 2 T's in one: topics, titles, thumbnails, and timing. So same thing for titles and thumbnails. Go study them within your niche and study things such as what kind of faces do they have, if any, in their thumbnails? How many words are they using in their thumbnails? I say max 3 words, no matter what niche you're in. People aren't going to be reading paragraphs on their homepage whenever they're looking for videos to watch. They're just going to scroll past. So max 3 words, but a lot of niches like this current channel that I'm on right now, this niche does really well with 1 or 0 words in their thumbnails. So a lot of niches will have 0 words in their thumbnails. Study those types of things. Study what faces, if any, study the objects, arrows or circles or emojis, things like that. Fake tweets are very, very common. I know this is going to sound crazy, but I truly 100% believe I started the fake tweet trend back in 2019, but I don't really even care about dying on that hill. Like I didn't know of anybody else who was doing that back then, and I truly believe that I started that trend, but I don't really care about dying on that hill if you disagree with me. So for titles and thumbnails, study people within your niche. And once again, if you want a better breakdown of what makes a good title and what you should be studying, topics or titles and thumbnails, go check out my other videos. My pinned video on my YouTube channel will break it down completely for you, what you should exactly be studying. And then timing is something that a lot of people overlook when making YouTube videos. They think that they shouldn't, or they don't have to, or they can't, whatever the case is. They shouldn't be riding trends, or they can't be riding trends, or whatever the case is. You need to be using trends to your advantage. You need to be using timing to your advantage. And once again, I break this down on how anybody can do it, no matter what niche you're in, how you can do that in my pinned video on my YouTube channel. But an example is, let's say you're a channel on how to make money. Well, we have Christmas coming up. We had Black Friday just pass. You could have made a video on how to make money on Black Friday, how to make money on Christmas. Or let's say you're a dating channel. You can use celebrity breakups. You can use Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, issues and drama to your advantage to get an initial boost in views, because probably a lot of people probably don't know who you are, but a lot more people know who Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith are in comparison to you. So if you use their names and you use those trends to your advantage, it will give you a boost in views and access to a larger audience that you wouldn't have had if you didn't use their names to boost your views. And those are just a couple examples. Like, you can, let's say you're a gardening channel, you can use a new gardening article that just came out that's trashing on a certain technique in gardening to your advantage on your channel. Like, any niche, any channel can use timing, can use trends, can use current events to their advantage to get an initial boost in views, or, you know, just use trends in general to gain access to a larger audience that wasn't there before. And then the last thing that I focused on whenever I came back to YouTube the second time, really went viral and started to make $30,000 a month with the YouTube platform, was monetization, and proper monetization, not just with ads, but other ways of monetizing. Like, when you first start, when my clients first start on YouTube, I always teach them, let's get to 10K a month with just ads. And maybe we can even get to 30K a month. I mean, you can 100% get to 30K a month with just ads, but it's a lot easier to get from 10 to 30K a month once you have an established audience and you can monetize in other ways. And a lot of people will see their favorite YouTubers, once again, selling merch, selling clothes with their logos on them, and they think that's what I should do. That's what's going to sell for me. In reality, like, that's probably not going to sell for you unless you have a massive audience that was built up over a large period of time, where people have like this extreme buy-in to your personal brand. What works better for a lot of people who are like under 500,000 subscribers is sell stuff that is related to your niche. So once again, I have a video breaking this down way more. You know, it's the pinned video on my channel, but certain niches will do better with clothing. Certain niches will do better with toys, with trinkets, with, you know, ice chests. Like, I don't know, if you're a hunting channel, maybe you should sell some camouflage apparel, or maybe you can sell an ice chest or something to keep your drinks cold or drinks warm, or whatever the case is, while you're in the stand. Or maybe, I don't know, like, whatever, you could sell duck calls, things like that. It's not going to serve you well to sell stuff with your personal logo on your merch. What's going to serve you a lot better is to sell merchandise that can actually serve a purpose, whether that's entertainment, whether that's utility, to the audience that you have built for yourself. That's what's going to serve you the absolute best and make you the most amount of money. And I personally think that's the best way to go from 10K a month with just making ads, making money from YouTube ads, maybe 15 to 30K a month. And the best way to go from 30K a month, if it's all with ads, to 50K or 60K. That's the best way to really, really take your revenue and your profits from the YouTube platform to the next level. And that's what I've done for a lot of my clients is, yeah, we're making a good bit of money with YouTube ads. Now let's take it to the next level and have some products that we can sell digitally that we don't have to put much time into. We don't have to put much money into. The margins are really good because we're not really paying to host the website. We're not paying for much. We're not paying for the manufacturing of most of these products unless it's like a rare occasion. And that's what takes your monetization to the next level. So those are kind of the things that I learned whenever I came back to YouTube, how to go viral on the platform whenever I came back, and how I made $30,000 a month whenever I did end up coming back, and how I still make 30K a month to this day, and hopefully a lot more going into the future. Hopefully this video did help you out, whether, you know, with some inspiration, and maybe you're falling on a tough time, maybe you're struggling on YouTube right now, and hearing this story can provide some inspiration, some motivation, or maybe it's with the strategy side of things. And once again, if you want a better breakdown, I have some other videos that do a lot of better job of breaking down the strategies. But if you want personalized breakdown, if you want me to implement these strategies directly into your channel and get you making some good money, like right now, like, it's very possible for you to go full-time on YouTube if you want to. Like, it's 100% possible for you to do it. You can either spend 5 years like I did trying to do it yourself, or you can pay and join the program if we think that you're a good fit, because we don't accept everybody. But if we think that you're a good fit, you can just allow me to implement these strategies directly into your channel, save you the time, blood, sweat, and tears, and we can just get you going full-time or making 10, 30K a month on a side hustle if you really, really want to. But we can implement these strategies and get you making this money whenever you're ready. You know, so if you are ready, go ahead and book a call with a link in the description, or you can DM me on Instagram if you have any other questions. I hope you did enjoy the video though. Hopefully it did help you out. If it did, please leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this one, and I hope to see you in the next one.